Hello, replay viewers. I fancy holding my sign. I'm scoping in a different place in my house right now, so this is day 19 of my 21-day scoping challenge to myself. I'm going to actually finish it. Hi, Jessica. So I'll hold, hi, Erica. Hold my arm out here till he gets tired so we get this initial shot here. I've been turning around sometimes too quickly. Hi, Alyssa. Hi, Kimberly. Okay, I think that's probably long enough. Alrighty. So I am continuing to learn more things about the new shop design, so I want to make sure I hopped on again and told you about them. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. So, if you are new here, I am Melissa from MakerySpace.com, and it is a site where I love to provide tips and tutorials for educating and equipping Etsy sellers in the more left-brained aspects of running their creative business. And I also love to get on Periscope. Oh, thank you very much. Remind me of your first name at Home with Words. I can't remember from the blab. I love to get on Periscope too and chat because I love how interactive it is. Kareth, thank you. I don't think I actually knew that at all. What a pretty name. Hi, Gina. So, there's a few more things I wanted to tell you about that I haven't talked about in these scopes about the new Etsy shop design. So I want to make sure I cover those today. Hello, Tanner's Creek 87. Okay, Brooke had emailed me, hi Sarah, this morning asking about the shop section. So the shop section limit is increasing from 10 to 15, and you don't have to wait to do that. Really, any of these changes that Etsy has implemented with this new design, you do not have to wait to do. The only thing that's not going to be in place until April 5th is the public seeing our cover images and seeing the new design itself. So any other things that you do with the changes they've made, you can implement now and they will stick now, okay? So you can make this a little process. So as far as the increase in shop sections, all you have to do is go into your listings manager, and on the left where it says sections and it has the manage link, just click on that and you will see where right now you can add 5 more sections. So if you have had some sections squished together, hi Elaine, and not ideally, but you just had to combine some because you didn't have enough room to list all your sections, now you can separate those and it will be so much more intuitive for shoppers and so much more intuitive for you just as far as arranging your products, okay? So go ahead and you can go ahead and do that in the listings manager on the left where it says manage sections. Okay, another thing that you can do that I haven't talked about, and you know, I'm not sure how many people are going to want to do this. I'm not going to do this because it has to do with sold orders, and you can actually hide them now. So you know how in the new layout at the top it says how long you've been on Etsy and how many sold orders you've had. Hi, Web Diva. And it's not hyperlinked, but down farther on the left there is a mention of your sales that is hyperlinked. You can make that not hyperlinked. So you can literally make it so that nobody can see your sold orders. Now, I don't know, maybe some people want that to happen. I have gotten, you know, requests for items via my sold orders. So I don't necessarily think that's the best strategy unless you have a really unique reason for wanting no one to see your sold orders, okay? But that's a possibility. If you want to do that, it's in your shop settings under options. Okay, now Beth Newitt had asked last week, she said something about policies and that she read that the link to the policies section is going to be different. So she was saying she needed to go in and edit all of her listings because she links to her policies in her listings. Kareth, I think some people are just, they feel weird about the competition spying on them. You know, like they're going to see what your best sellers are and they're going to copy and start making it yourself. You know, honestly, I think it's usually a paranoia issue. Now, if someone is really struggling with copycats or I mean, even then, though, you can struggle with copycats with items just regularly for sale in your shop and not necessarily your sold orders. But I guess there could be some unique situations where having your sold orders visible could present a problem, but I honestly can't think of anything off the top of my head. But I think that's what motivates people not to want to show them, is they're afraid competitors are going to see their best sellers and they're going to copy them. So when Beth was talking about policies having a different link, I did read an admin said that those links are going to be redirected to the correct one. So if you have your policies linked in your listings, Etsy is setting up redirects, so those will go to the right spot. So you don't need to go through, if you have 200 listings and your policy is linked in every one, you do not need to go through and edit all of those links if you don't want to. They will be redirected to the right place. Now, obviously, once April 5th comes, I would encourage you to check to make sure they actually are going to the right spot. But that's what an admin said is going to happen with those policies links. Also, I mentioned with the Shop Rearrange tool that it's really, really difficult for people who have a lot of items because of that endless scroll. They're having to drag items a long way if they want to put it in a different item or a different spot in their shop. And Etsy has listened to that feedback, and an admin said that they are working on improvements to that. And their updates are coming shortly. So I am thinking that probably sometime this week, I'm hoping, we will hear an update on what they've done to make it easier to rearrange items in our shop because there's no pages now. You can't take something that's on page 5 and send it to page 1 anymore. You have to drag it, show more so that until all your items show, and then you have to drag everything to put in a different spot. So there's a benefit in that wherever you put it now, it will stay. Every time you sell one of those items, it will go back to the spot you designated. The only time it'll go to the top if it's the brand new listing. But the downfall was that whole dragging a long ways, which can be completely tedious for people who have a lot of items in their shop. So be looking for an update to that coming very soon. They're working on it. Okay, so two other things. The last thing I want to mention about the shop design thing, and this is important. I'm going to read this word for word what the Etsy admin said, okay? Any advice for ordering? So some people like to do this different ways. Some people create product lines where they might make 4 different accessories out of the same fabric. And so they want all those, well now it's 3 across, but let's say it's 3 accessories in the same fabric, and they want all those in the same fabric to be next to each other. So that's one way of ordering. Or you can kind of do it by color scheme. You can do it by type of item. For example, I like to keep all of my ready to ship most basic wallets together. And so when I'm rearranging, I'm always rearranging so that those are together, and then I kind of have an idea in my head of what order I want my different products in. And so, before in the app, when it would sell, I could rearrange it, but it would just be to the top. In the app, it was all mixed up. It's not going to be that way anymore. But, some people don't care about rearranging, but I think it's just more of a visual thing. It's a way of organizing your shop, either by color, by style, by the type of item that it is. So if people are not clicking on your individual sections on the left, they're at least seeing some semblance of order within your items if they're looking at everything at once. So this is what one of the Etsy admins said as far as how some of the aspects of the new design are going to affect Google SEO. So you need to listen up to this. The new page design has no negative impact on SEO. I think someone had asked, is this going to be a problem for SEO? In fact, we have added keywords to the metadata on the shop homepage based on your shop section titles. Okay, don't have your head explode from the word metadata, okay? If you're not a nerd like me, don't worry about that. Basically what that means is Etsy's taking keywords based on your shop section titles, and they have added additional data that Google can read and index based on your section titles. So make sure that those section titles have keywords. Don't make them cutesy. Don't make them vague. Make them specific with keywords because Google is going to notice them, and Etsy has added that metadata to the homepage. Additionally, the shop page and all subpages are indexed by Google, giving them direct access to all of your listings. Google crawler bots now have access to additional keywords that they can now scrape your reviews, updates, about page, local, and policies content, since it's all directly on your shop page. So before, all of those pages were linked from your main shop page to a different page. Now everything is on that main shop page, which means all of the keywords that Etsy is providing to Google, those are right there. So I think we're going to start seeing some changes, I hope, in Google because of the fact that that all is on the homepage. And so any keywords picked up from the homepage can send people to the homepage of your shop. So I've never seen somebody's policies page linked in Google. There's other areas where I've never seen links to that part of someone's shop, and so I'm just not sure if Etsy was making that information available to Google or not. But now all of it's going to be on there. So even your about page, title your about page, have keywords in your title of your about page, have keywords in the blurb on your about page, have keywords everywhere. Okay, keyword phrases, your long tail keyword phrases, sprinkle them in to all those sections of your shop now because you know that Google is going to see that, okay? And that's something I'll definitely be looking at. I'll be testing things with my own shop, just seeing how it's affecting it, reading up what the admins are saying. I just wanted to give you a heads up that the admins have said that Google now has access to additional keywords from our shop as a result of this shop design change, okay? Now, the last thing I want to talk about, did you get the email this morning? I've been watching to see when they're going to talk about the shop updates feed and let people know about that. So the email that I got from Etsy this morning as just an Etsy shopper, not as a seller, says discover a new way to shop. Shoppable updates from sellers you love. Etsy sellers can now share photos of their newest works in progress or items in action. You can be the first to see them. Each shared update links to an item in their shop that you can buy. Start exploring the newest way to shop. And so there's a button there that the person reading the email can click that says see photos from shops you like. And when you click through that button, it takes you right to just an updates feed with huge pictures of all of the shops that you follow. So there is the first way that we're seeing Etsy link to our shop updates directly. So that motivates me even more to be getting those shop updates on there at least once a week because now Etsy is making buyers know about them. They're linking right to them with that big button in that email. So that is the first spotting we've had of them telling buyers about the shop updates feed. All right, any questions about anything I talked about? I know I kind of rattled. Sorry I had to get on so late. I did not have a chance to jump on before our blab today, so I had to get on afterwards. Yeah, I know. I've been really lazy about it, Kareth, mostly because it just didn't seem like it made that much of a difference, but now it's like, okay, I think it really matters now. Now I need to kind of make a habit of it, put it in my schedule and make a habit of it. That's really what it comes down to, is just making it something that you do as a routine. Maybe a certain day of the week, just decide every Monday you're going to post a shop update or every Friday or whatever. You have to do it from the app, Elaine, and you just take a picture or upload a picture, yeah. And you have to attach it to one of your active listings. So it can be, I would encourage you not to do like, you know, listing photos that you've already done, but do works in progress. Do things where you're using a new kind of fabric, or you're partly through the process, or and you talk about, you can connect it to like a customer saying, this customer, I love the fabric choice this customer made. Isn't it looking beautiful, or whatever, you know, whatever you want to say as far as your work in progress. And then you connect it to the listing that was purchased or that it goes with, and then it's added to a shop updates feed. And in the app, people that follow your shop will see that shop update. And then on their homepage now they'll see it. And then currently there's a link on the left in your shop where someone can click for shop updates. But when this new design happens, then they're going to see it in the feed underneath your reviews, I believe it is. I believe it's your active listings and your reviews and your shop updates right in that continuous scroll. As far as how many, I encourage, you know, I can't really claim any expertise on that because I haven't been a super active updater, but I would aim just, you know, I like to aim for something that I think I can really accomplish, because otherwise I feel like a failure and I totally stop. So I'm aiming for once a week and then maybe a couple times a week. But I think that if you even just did an update every day, I don't think that's too much. I'm not sure I would do multiple updates a day, but I think one a day is great to aim for, but I'm just going to start small with one a week. One thing you don't want to do, I think, is you don't want to overwhelm people's feeds where when they click through to their updates, all they see is yours. And then they have to scroll down, to see the next person's feed that they follow. You don't want to be obnoxious, I guess. And so maybe keeping it to one a day at the most would be a considerate thing to do. Because that's not like Instagram. I mean, Instagram moves so quickly. So if you're following a bunch of people and someone posts 4 times in a day, you're not going to see those 4 times in a row. But not a ton of people, I think, are using Etsy updates. So it's very possible that if you post 4 times in a day, yours are going to be in a row or pretty close to it. Maybe once it takes off and most sellers are using it, then you might be able to start posting more frequently if you want to and not be cluttering up people's feeds with just your stuff. Any other questions about what I covered? Okay. Well, I'll be back on tomorrow at my normal time, which is around 10:30 Pacific, give or take a little bit. If you have any questions in the meantime, you can email me at MakerySpace.com/scope. You can go to MakerySpace.com/scope and scroll down to the box to submit a request for something for me to scope about. Thanks, Elaine. Or you can email me at melissa@MakerySpace.com. Thanks. I will enjoy my afternoon. You all do the same. Okay? Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.